Hello students, welcome to the Pole Science of class 12 arts, and today we will start with a very new topic from chapter number 1, that is Cold War and Non-Aligned Movement. It's the name of the chapter, and the topic that we will study today is the non-aligned movement. That means in short you can say it NAM. N-A-M. It stands for non-aligned movement. So let us proceed then. So firstly, understanding about the non-aligned movement, that means NAM, what it is. The international policy of a sovereign state according to which it does not align itself with any of the power blocks and at the same time actively participates in the world affairs to promote international peace and harmony and cooperation. That means, if you remember, we had studied about the two power blocks, the Western Alliance and the Eastern Alliance. The Western Alliance, as you know, was headed by the United States of America, and the Eastern Alliance was headed by the USSR. So what happened at that time? These two power blocks wanted to actually include all the countries that were either independent or under any foreign rule, as and if whenever they achieved independence, both these alliances wanted to actually include them into their side. But there were also some countries that were not actually desiring to join any of these two superpowers. That means the first superpower, which was led by the United States of America, and the second superpower, which was led by the USSR. That means the Western and Eastern alliances. So there were some countries that did not wanted to join any of this. So in relation to that only, the non-aligned movement or NAM was given the introduction, or it took the shape of the collaboration of 5 countries. Firstly it was 3, like 3 countries joined and formed the non-aligned movement. So the international policy of a sovereign state according to which it does not align itself with any of the power blocks, as I have said earlier that there were some countries which actually do not want to be included either in the blocks related to the USA or the other blocks that was related to the USSR, and at the same time actively participates in the world affairs to promote international peace, harmony and cooperation. So they will not go to any of the blocks, but at the same time, that means remaining far from both these two blocks, they will cooperate in 3 things especially. That means they wanted to remain independent without joining any of the power blocks, and along with that they will fluently be involved in doing 3 things. That is, number 1, to promote international peace, then number 2, to maintain harmony, and number 3 is to maintain and promote cooperation. So this is the meaning of non-aligned movement. That means without going to any of the power blocks and by becoming or by remaining independent, they would promote peace, harmony and cooperation. After that, the features of non-aligned movement. So what are the features, what are the characteristics that are actually related to the non-aligned movement? Number 1 is that not to align to any of the power blocks, that is USA and Soviet Union. This we have discussed already. That means that some countries which were independent did not wanted to go to any of the power blocks. Clear? After that, number 2, to oppose kind of military alliances like NATO, SEATO and Warsaw Pact. That means they will also, firstly they will not join hands, or they will not come under the alliance of USA and Soviet Union. Secondly, they will also oppose the kind of military alliances that the USA or the USSR was bringing on, such as the USA brought NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, in the year 1949, and The USSR, on the other hand, brought the Warsaw Pact in the year 1955. Clear? And Southeast Asian Treaty Organization, this was actually meant for inclusion of South Asian countries to the sides of whom? To the sides of United States of America. For this, they had given this name Southeast Asian Treaty Organization. That means this treaty, this military alliance treaty, was actually meant for the inclusion of South Asian countries to the sides of United States of America. Clear? So this was the second feature of non-aligned movement. Now coming to the third feature, freedom to take its independent decisions. As I have told you earlier that some countries were there which wanted to remain independent. For that reason also, they did not wanted to join any of the power alliance or superpowers. And what they thought of, by becoming or by remaining independent only, they will be free to take any decision. So they wanted that. After that, number 4, not to remain aloof from the international problems and politics. That means what? If they are not under any of the two superpower blocks, namely USA and USSR, that does not mean that they will be out of the world scenario. Or you can say that if they are not under USA and USSR, that does not mean that this non-aligned or the countries under non-aligned movement or non-aligned countries will also be out from all the problems and politics that is going on around the world in the current scenario. That means what? If you remember, there was a point that by not joining any of the two power blocks, they will participate. They will not remain separate or aloof. They will participate to promote peace, harmony and cooperation. So related to that line only, this number 4 line is written, that not to remain aloof, that means not to remain separate from international problems and politics. They will work for the progress of peace, harmony and cooperation. And whatever the international problems and politics are going on, they will participate and will have a solution for that. Clear? Now number 5 feature is to judge an issue on merit and uphold, defend rights of all people for freedom and justice. That means, the last but not the least, whatever the features related to non-aligned movement is there, the number 5 point says that it will judge every issue on merit. That means whatever it is applicable to give the solution, the non-aligned movement or the non-aligned countries will give the solution based on merit only. That means they will go thoroughly through that particular issues or problems, whatever it is going on, and they will have a judgment based on merit. That means there will not be any corruption while making a judgment. And uphold, defend the rights of the people for freedom and justice. And they will do what? They will uphold also and they will defend also. For what? For all the rights of the people. And according to the rights of the people, what are being given? The freedom and justice. That they will ensure that. Clear? So these were the 5 features of non-aligned movement. Starting from number 1, it will not align to any of the two power blocks. Then it will oppose military alliances like NATO, Seattle and Warsaw Pact. Then it will have the freedom to take its independent decisions. That means it will take its own decisions. Now number 4, it will not remain separated from all the international politics or problems that is going on. They will participate by remaining separate, by not joining to the two power blocks. And number 5 was to judge an issue on merit and also to uphold or defend the rights of the people, which is related to freedom and justice. So these are the 5 features of non-aligned movement. Now coming back to the next topic, that is objectives of NAM. Clear? So number 1 is eliminate all causes which could lead to war. So number 1 objectives of NAM is that they will eliminate every possibilities. That means they will not support anything that can actually cause to a hot war or that could result to a hot war. So they will have a discussions and they will bring out a solution in order to do what? In order to eliminate every possibilities that could actually lead to a war. This is the first objective. Now number 2 is to protect nascent freedom of newborn independent countries of Asia and Africa from colonial dominations. And number 2 is that objectives of NAM is that it will protect every Asian and African countries which are newly independent. That means the countries of Asia and Africa, those countries who have recently got independence from any colonial rule, and they will also make sure that these countries do not come under colonial domination or domination again. Now number 3, to oppose colonialism, imperialism and racial discrimination. That means they will, apart from making it sure that newly independent countries does not come under colonial domination, along with that they will also oppose what? Colonialism, number 1. They will also oppose imperialism, and last but not the least, they will also oppose racial discrimination. Clear? Now number 4 is to encourage friendly relations among countries, and they will also ensure that whatever the countries are there outside NAM or within NAM, they will make sure that whatever the relations is there with those countries, that relation should be very much friendly. So they will maintain friendly relations among those countries. Number 5, to advocate peaceful settlement of international disputes. As I have told you earlier, this point can be related to number 1 point, that they can eliminate all causes which could lead to war. That means how can they eliminate all causes? They will actually find out a solution through what? Peaceful settlement of international disputes. That means peaceful settlement means they will do discussions on the table. They will not encourage any hot war. The next point 6 is that to oppose use of force and use of nuclear weapons, and the objectives of NAM, the 6th objective of NAM is that they will totally oppose, they will not encourage, or they will totally oppose the use of force and use of nuclear weapons. They are against these two things. They are against the use of forces also, and they are against the uses of nuclear weapons also, which could actually lead to war. Now number 7 point is that to strengthen United Nations as an organ of world peace. That means apart from that, along with doing all this by themselves, they will also try to strengthen United Nations, because United Nations is the only organizations left in today's world which is actually acting as an independent organ, or which is acting as a mediator that comes between 2 or more countries to settle their disputes. If suppose any 2 countries or 3 countries are having a dispute over some matters, so they will act as a mediator. That means middleman. They will come in the middle and they will try to solve this problem through peaceful discussions and talks. Now next point is that to protect human rights and protect environment. Along with that, they will also try to do what? They will also try to protect, according to the objectives of NAM, they will try to protect human rights also and protect the environment also. Both the things are very much necessary in today's world. That means rights for the human, that means human rights commissions are very much needed, so that the violation does not occur related to the human rights. And along with that, they will also work for environment friendly, whatever the environment friendly programs are there, they will encourage and they will try to uplift that by protecting the environment. Now next point is that to build a new international economic order. That means it is related to the economy of every country. So they will try to build what? A new international economic order, according to which the economy of the countries present in the world will follow this. So in short form, we can tell this as NEIO. That means according to the objectives of NAM, they will encourage or promote to build a new international economic order based on equality, equity and justice. So whatever they are actually having a vision to build a new international economic order, they will build that on the basis of three things. That means on the basis of equality, number one, on the basis of equity, and lastly on the basis of justice. Clear? So with this we have come to the end of today's topic, and in today's topic, firstly we have learned about the full form of NAM, that is non-aligned movement, then the meaning of NAM. After that we have gone through the 5 features of NAM, and lastly we have gone through the objectives of the NAM. What are the objectives related to the organization NAM? And before winding up, I just want to share some updated things related to India, because as I have already earlier said about the fact that India has been recently included in the non-permanent member of the United Nations, and we have also read about the 5th organ of the United Nations, that is Economic and Social Council, if you remember. And related to that, one updated news is there that you can read here, that PM Narendra Modi will virtually address the valedictory of high-level segment of United Nations Economic and Social Council on July 17th, 2020. That has been already conducted. This will be Prime Minister Modi's first speech at the United Nations after India reinstated its place as a non-permanent member in the Security Council. As I have told you earlier that India has been recently included as a member of non-permanent member in the United Nations Security Council. So based on that fact only, to mark this place of India for the another 2 years, Prime Minister Modi has given his first speech at the United Nations Security Council, and that too for the organ of United Nations Economic and Social Council on 17th of July 2020. Moreover, this year marks the 75th anniversary of the Council since its formation in 1945. So this is also what 2020 is also the 75th year of the United Nations. So this is the updated news about India's inclusion in the United Nations Security Council as a non-permanent member, and Narendra Modi, PM Narendra Modi's first address after India has been included as a member. So with this I will wind up today's topic, and I hope that whatever the points we have studied today related to non-aligned movement, its features and objectives, it is now very much clear to you. So I will wind up here only. Thank you.